Well, hey guys, and welcome to Inspirations for Your Life. It's great to be with you. This is Friday, April 10th, and it's exactly 1 week till my first book launches, and I can't wait to share that with you. The dedication will happen to my parents on April 17th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Right after that, the book will be available for sale on Amazon. We will have basically a hardcover book. We will have a Kindle version, and we'll also have a Audible version. But sometimes the Audible version might not be ready for a few more days because I know they're still going through some reviewing on it. Amazon does kind of take their sweet time on that. If this is the very first time you're joining me, I want to say welcome and I want to say thank you. If you've been here many times before, whether it's once or several times, of course, thank you, but welcome back. It's great to have you with me here on the show. If you're thirsty, if you're hungry, or what have you, go grab something and come on back to the show. Get yourself comfortable. And don't forget to check out believemeachieve.com, of course, for more of my amazing, inspiring creations, which you can do after the show is over. So, this is Inspirations for Your Life. Today, like I said, is Friday, April 10th, 2026. And the granular topic for today is Renewal is Actually Real, Series 5, Show 15, Episode 7. And this is going to close out our master topic week. So I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, engineer, marketing specialist, video producer, podcast host, coach, keynote speaker, graduate student, and a passionate lifelong learner. And pretty soon, as of next Friday, I'll be a published author on April 17th. So here's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Most people wait for change. Very few people live like it already happened. And that is the difference between staying stuck and actually rising. If your life does not reflect the change is not real yet to you. And that can be a problem. Number one, guys, act like change is possible. Your behavior must reflect your belief. If it doesn't, you're going to just cycle. You could spiral downward, you could just stay stagnant, but it's not a healthy thing. All right. Number two, carry fresh energy into old spaces. Do not bring outdated thinking into your next chapter. There's no need for it. Your next chapter can be completely different than the chapter you're currently in right now. And you don't even need to finish the chapter you're in right now. You can move to a brand new chapter. And I think a lot of people don't realize that it's never too late to start again. Um, you know, People have timelines for when things are supposed to be done, but it's interesting that people just don't really get certain things. And I want to tell you that when you believe something, and I'm going to go back to a saying I've used many times before, Henry Ford said, if you believe you can do it, you're right. And if you believe you can't, you're also right. So our belief sets up our mind and body to achieve. And so I talked about something new yesterday, which was kind of an interesting epiphany I had. And that's BAR. And that is believable, okay, achievable, okay. And when we think about believable, we think about achievable, right? Um, that's important, okay. Um, Relieving yourself to the stresses of life can sometimes be hard, but we need to push a little bit each day. And remember, it's gonna get uncomfortable. I said that to you guys. Number three, renewal starts in daily choices. Small actions create lasting transformation. And that's the most important thing I want you guys to get from today is that a small task that you do, but being done consistently over time will build momentum, will help you grow exponentially. Number four, new life needs new habits. Growth requires structure and repetition. So don't get stuck because the Joneses say you can't do it, the Marksons say you can't do it, the bandwagon effect. Don't get stuck on that because once you go down that pathway, it's not easy to, let's say, reverse. Not that you can't. It's like putting a truck, that doesn't have let's say, full four-wheel drive, and it goes into a car and you can't back out. Once you get into that mud pit or that dirt trap, it's very hard to get out if you even can get out on your own. Sometimes you might need help to get out, people pushing it or a tow truck or something like that. Number five, guys, stop expecting old results from new intentions. Nothing changes without aligned action. And Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So why are you doing that? You're not insane. Change up what you're doing. Even change one thing. It doesn't have to be everything. Just change one of the variables, and you can see that there inevitably will be change. Number six, guys, rebuild from the inside out. Identity drives everything you create. So you are your reality. You are what your perceptions are transferring to you. So perceptions are very important, and we have to be understanding of those. Number seven, guys, let today reflect what you now know. Awareness without action is wasted. I talk about awareness a lot in my book. I'm not going to go into that now, but awareness is something that got me to change my life over 14 years ago. But most people think awareness is this quick thing that you learn. It's not. It's a gradual process where you become in tune with your mind, your heart, your spirit, things you see, hear, touch, taste, smell, and even the proprioception of your hand, of your feet, of your limbs, or different parts of your body. And I think that's a really important thing. And hopefully you guys will definitely enjoy that in my book because I go very deep with that. Number eight, practice your comeback. Repetition builds strength and confidence. I know that we've all fell before, and it's not how many times we fell. Doesn't matter. It's how many times we got back up. If we fell 5 and we got back up 5, great. We fell 10, we get up 10, great. If we fell 5 and we only got up 4, problem. We fell 10, we only got up 9, we're still down. Those are problems. So practice your comeback. You don't need to be an expert to start or great to start, but you have to start to become that expert, to become great. Many people I talk to are like, oh, John, I'm not good enough to do that. Neither was anybody else. So you need to start so you can become that. Number 9, live lighter, clearer, stronger. Remove what slows your growth. And when you find what slows your growth, you can change your life. Let me say that again. When you find what slows your growth, you can remove it, and that will change your life. Now, removing it does not cause an immediate change. It causes your awareness to change, and then slowly over time, you've noticed the patterns have changed. And as long as the patterns change, you will move very quickly to your desired results. Number 10, guys, protect what has been restored. Progress must be guarded intentionally. It must be guarded intentionally. If it's guarded intentionally, then and only then will you be able to move forward. Only then. Protect what has been restored. And when we know that progress is guarded, we're a little more, I don't say cautious, but we're a little more discerning in the steps that we take. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're a kid and you're getting an allowance when you were younger, and you were given, I don't know, $10 a week, whatever. And even though there was more money, you weren't going to get it until next week, next Monday, next Friday. So you needed to budget that $10 for things you might want to do. That might be getting ice creams. That might be getting other things. Your lunch and things were covered, but if there was something else you wanted, maybe there's a toy you want or something. Like we had a five and dime by us, and there were always these inexpensive things you could go and get. So what that teaches us is that we're discerning about how we're spending our money. We're discerning about how we make our choices in life. And these choices will not only define the moment, but they define our character, our integrity, and our entire life. If we stay on that trajectory, if we change, of course, things change in our life. Number 11, guys, renewal is maintenance. It's not magic. Consistency sustains everything in your life. Everything. Maybe you're saying to me, John, I've done the consistency route. It didn't work for me. I get that it didn't work for you. That doesn't mean you stop it. It might mean that you probably did it 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days, maybe another day, but you didn't get the results you wanted, so you stopped. That happens with a lot of lead generation systems. That happens with a lot of business initiatives. People stop because they don't get the result. When you keep doing something and it becomes a natural habit, something very easy to add onto your daily routine, maybe it's messaging 2 people on LinkedIn or Facebook or what have you. And when you treat it as a system and you don't expect anything, you just do it as a habit, eventually it will give you an ROI. So again, renewal is not maintenance in the sense of it doesn't just happen once. Renewal is maintenance when we think about it being consistently. It's not magic. And maintenance, we've learned, sustains everything in our life. I was talking to president of my university just yesterday on a walk, and we were talking about sustainability at Montclair State University. And he made a very interesting statement that, they have, a cogen facility where they create most of their power, but not all. And being a gas-fired environment, you might think that that is bad for the environment, but he was explaining how different nuances, okay, and producing in our state is actually giving us more of a sustainability pattern because we don't have to ship it out. So those were very interesting things. And when we think about sustainability, a lot of us think about it on a grand level, but we can think about sustainability in our own homes, in our own businesses. How do we recycle? How do we throw things out? What do we do in our lives? This is the kicker, guys. Today, do you throw all your garbage in one container or do you separate it out? Does your town or does your organization even participate in that? I know there's some that say they do it and then you do it, and then I find out that they just lump everything back together because they charge a lot of money for the separation. But that's not proper, okay? Number 12, guys, what rises must be sustained. Growth requires discipline over time. Growth does not shoot up because of just one action you take. Now, it can drastically drop by an action you take that's negative, but it doesn't always dramatically increase with just one action. It takes a series of actions. I'll give you an example. Posting on social media. A lot of people want to post ads. I belong to a lot of different groups. And my whole goal with these groups is not to advertise. It's to create an awareness in the groups. We have a philosophy on 1 day a week, you're only allowed to post business content. And then usually on Sunday, I choose that day to post nostalgia content, things about history in the town and things like that. Well, the thing about Wednesday is most people, and for a while I was branding my Wednesday post with one of my tech companies. But what I later learned is that you're better off to frame it as a question. And people get curious about it. And when they see there's no company mentioned, and when you ask a question and they comment back, well, guess what? You could say, yes, we've been helping people do that for a while. If you want us to help you, reach out. See, people value information. And The reason I know this is because when I started with this group, oh gosh, over 12 or 14 years ago, I wasn't growing. And it was because I was posting content that was about, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm not important. You are. So I changed my philosophy about a year ago that I need to be giving more to the group. I don't need to worry about what businesses I have, what services I offer, but create curiosity. And that curiosity will get engagement. Now, not overnight. The nostalgia posts obviously get results very quickly. The tech posts, questions like, has anybody experienced something like this? Or I'm curious what you guys are going through. That creates discussion. When one person responds, even if no one else responds, they're seeing that. They're also seeing myself as a top contributor. Now, I'm not the world contributor yet, but I think I'm like 1,200 or 1,400 points from that. That took some time to grow. And the reason it took time is I wanted to make sure that people are getting to know me for my integrity, not as a salesperson. And I'm not a pushy salesperson, but some people do that. This is why when I interview people for the Inspirations of Your Life show, the first question I ask them after I say to them, thank you so much for coming online and picking a time to meet with me. I just want to be clear with you about what this interview is going to consist of. It's going to take about 15 or 20 minutes. And in this interview, I'm going to learn if you're a good fit for my audience. I want to also let you know that this is not a sales show. What that means is you cannot come on the show and pitch a product or a service. We can talk about products or services that you have worked with, but it is not a direct association to allow people to buy that product. Now, I sometimes make exceptions when there's an author. I say, hey, if you want to learn more about their book, but I don't push the book. All right. A lot of people out there, and then I ask this other question. I say, and just tell me, before I even get into my second question, I say, just curious, Joe, Mark, what show was it that you watched? Because I have a couple shows, right? And which show was it that inspired you? Which show did you watch? Did you watch? I usually say, which show did you watch? Or did you watch a show? And what makes you think we're a good fit? If they cannot tell me what show or what reason we're a good fit, I say, you know what? I thank you so much for your time. I know it's valuable, just like mine is. And one of the things that we ask is that people do watch a full show or two so they know if it's in alignment and then come back with us. But 9 out of those 10 people don't come back. And that's okay because they were just looking to pitch me, okay, a product or service before they even get on the show. And that's a big no-no. And the other thing they do is when they get on the show, they become this unmanageable monster. So I'm very good at handling these kinds of guests. And if something like that happens, we had something about a few years ago happen. Now, when we first started the show it's going to be over 4 years because it's 4 years and basically we're going into our 4th month. I'll tell you that I wanted everybody on the show. I didn't care. But now I've gotten very selective as to who do I want on the show? How do they align with my audience and myself? And will this be a good fit? And what I have found is a lot of people will sometimes lie their way through the interview. That can happen, not often. When I make it a deliberate interview and ask questions that have required them to take action, there's a good chance they haven't taken those action, like watching those shows. When I say, did you watch our show? And they're like, oh, yeah, I saw several. Great. Just curious, which show did you watch? And why do you think we're a good fit? Oh, John, that was so long ago. Well, if you're having a meeting with me today and you haven't even bothered to go and watch a show with me, do you really think I should spend 10 or 15 minutes to see if you're viable? No. So it was about 3 years ago. This guy had somewhat convinced me. It was a lighter interview. It wasn't as tight as it is now when we do the pre-interview chats. And I let him know about, there's no profanity on the show and you have to sign a release. And he came back to me, said, oh, okay, no problem. And on the show, he did two things. He started to talk about his products or services, and then he cursed. We blocked it out. But as soon as he did that, I said, you know what? Joe, look at the time. It has been a privilege and pleasure being with you. We actually have an emergency that just came into our desk that I need to cover. I hope you're doing very well, and good luck with all your ventures, and take care. Bam, he's off. Well, thanks so much to him. We appreciate that. And now let's get to what the show is about. So the show is about integrity. The show is about not selling people. The show is about not using profanity. And that was the important news flash, that I will not let someone come on my show, any of them, and try to dominate it with abusive language, foul language, or even manipulating it so they're trying to push a product or service when there's no story about it. I had a company on about 2 years ago, and I knew it was going to be one way, but it was kind of interesting because they built a product that the Yankees bought and the Dodgers bought and a few other baseball teams bought, the Atlanta Braves. And so I brought them on, but I knew when I got them on the show that they were going to just fit into my mold, but they weren't going to do anything more. They really didn't share the show out, nothing. So I was impressed because I'm like, gee, this is great. Now I'm not so impressed with celebrities or people that have a big following, because you know what? A lot of these people, I don't like to say this in a bad way, but they're jerks. They come on my show with this pompous shoulder ego, and they feel that, they're the be all of their industry. That's great. But there's a humble way to approach that. And I get tired of people that think they can just do whatever they want. So I don't tolerate that. Number 13, build systems worthy of your growth. Structure creates stability. Structure creates stability. I found that even when you're starting out and it's lonely, your structure will create and build more. You may not bring hundreds of people on, but you will attract the right people, the right relationships, the right business relationships, the right opportunities because of your alignment, your energy. Number 14, feed what you want to keep alive. Attention determines the outcome. I've said before, wherever our thoughts go, that's where the energy is going to flow. Let me say that again. Wherever our thoughts go, that's where the energy is going to flow. Number 15, upgrade your standards today. Raise what you accept from yourself right now. As soon as you do that, you're going to notice a difference in communication with other people. Number 16, stop returning to expired patterns. Old habits destroy new progress, unfortunately, guys. But yet some people still go back into those old habits. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Force of habit, but because they're comfortable. And when we get uncomfortable, that's when the magic happens. That's when success starts to rear its head. And as long as those patterns stay, success remains. Number 17, live as if your future matters. Act like it's already real. Act like it's already here. And that will create a belief system in your mind and body. Very important. Number 18, let renewal touch everything. Partial change creates weak results. Let renewal touch every part of your life. Because of partial change, it's weak. What happens if we're building a new structure? And let's just say there are 4 legs on the structure. And we decide that we're going to reuse 3 of those legs. from an older structure, and we just replaced one weak structure. Those are the legs might have been used, they might be decayed, might have not only lost their, let's say, strength, but they've also lost their appeal and they might look bad. Of course, it could be painted, but again, don't do things partially, do them completely. And I'm not saying you need to do everything today. What I'm saying is that you need to apply this to all areas of your life. So if you're saying right now that, John, I say no to things, don't just say no in business, say no in your personal life. When you say no, you actually get to say yes to yourself. So don't say, well, gee, I'm going to say no, but I'm only going to do it in business. What good is that going to do? It's going to help 50% of your life or 30% of your life, depending. Number 19, guys, keep your spirit clean and your habits sharp. Clarity builds strength. I said this before. Clarity builds strength. Number 20, new beginnings require new discipline. Consistency defines success. Number 21, act like you believe in better confidence is shown through the actions you put forward. Number 22, sustain the shift. Do not fall back, into comfort. I know people want to do that. And remember, the next chapter of your life, it deserves effort, real effort. Number 24, live from the lesson, not just the emotion. Apply what you've learned, keep the lesson, and throw any bad emotions out. Learn from the lesson. Number 25, protect your peace like progress depends on it. Number 26, make renewal practical. Turn ideas into daily systems. Number 27, turn inspiration into structure. Discipline builds real results. So what are you waiting for? Start eliciting it. Number 28, let your life look different on purpose. Change should be visible. It's not hidden. Number 29, keep choosing what restores you because consistency builds momentum. I have our last point, which is live like renewal is real, because it is, guys. It is real. I think that's important to understand. And in closing, here's the shift you need to make right now. Stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting for proof. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It's never going to happen. Thing like the change already happened, because real transformation is not something you talk about. It is something you demonstrate daily. When your actions align with your future, your life begins to reflect it. You gain clarity, you build momentum, you create results, and over time, you become an undeniable proof in your growth as a leader. You're not waiting for renewal, guys. You're living it. For more insights, inspiration, and strategies, elevate your life right now by visiting BelieveMeAchieve.com. Take care, everyone, and put these practices into your life now.